question for both of you guys. You guys happy that you're getting to fight now in Bellator? Because I know there was a time in Invicta where you were very close to fighting, so is this perfect timing?
I think so.
I think, you know, I do real 145 pounder, and I'm really happy. Can fight my division, and that's it.
And for Cris, you know, Bellator's been doing a lot of cross-promoting with Ryzen lately. Is that something you'd be interested in maybe being a part of, going to Japan and fighting somebody?
No, first thing, my focus is my next fight for Julia Budd, and if they have the opportunity, for sure, they're going to be welcome.
Thank you.
Hello, my name is Bonte Water from Miami News. This question is for Cris Cyborg. How do you feel the transition is going to be to Bellator as opposed to your time in the UFC?
You know, I'm really happy. I worked with Scott before, you know, at Strikeforce. We have fun together, like we did the history together. And, you know, I think if fighting Bellator, sign with them, they really appreciate working with me and then having my full division. And just really feel very blessed to be here and then get a great opportunity for me.
Josh.
Cris, what options were presented to you? Was this the only fight that Bellator came to you with, or what other options did they say?
You know, I never choose my opponent. I just wait to keep training. But I know I have the whole my division here. I know I have to wait 9 months for training. And they asked me if for fight Julia Budd. You know, Julia Budd before she challenged me to online, and she said she would like to fight me. And it just figured out we're gonna fight January.
So no boxing talk, it was mixed martial arts?
Yes, just mixed martial arts for now.
Julia, for you to have this chance now to fight Cris, someone obviously you wanted to fight, you've talked a lot about it. Do you feel like people are going to look at you as the champion coming in, or is there an element to sort of a challenge or a stake for you?
Well, I'm the 4-time Bellator world champion, so I think they should definitely look at me as the champion coming in. But obviously, I think that this is the fight that, going back to her being offered other fights, I think that this fight was the one that made the most sense. And I said that back after my fight in July, that I thought this fight should happen first. I didn't think that she should have to fight anybody in the division before we fight each other.
Julia, back here, straight in front of you. Yeah, so obviously sometimes unfair, but one of the biggest criticisms, well, yes, you're in Bellator, but you've never fought the girl in UFC, Cris Cyborg, and all the history. Can you talk about personally what it's like to have the opportunity to finally be like, hey, now that she's finally here, I finally get to show you guys what I'm made of?
Yeah, it definitely feels like that. And I mean, I think we've both known of each other for the last 10 years that I've been in MMA. We've known of each other because we're the two best girls at 145. And, but yeah, this is like a dream fight for me.
Any other questions? All right, great, thank you.
Thank you. So the tournament, next quarterfinal round presentation is really cool. I think everyone can agree it was a very fun idea. I just want to know how you guys came up with it. What was the whole planning? How we're going into that?
You know what? I'd like to take credit for it, but really it was a playbook out of the K1 fights we did back in Japan. That's how they had their own spin on it. We had our own spin on it. But at the end of the day, they came up, picked you know, a number. The twist really came from John McCarthy. Is how do you know, he called me up and said, hey, this is an idea I think you guys should consider. And I thought it was brilliant. So, you know, we did it. It's almost like, what do they call it, dirty Santa or bad Santa or something, where you're stealing someone's gift,
yeah,
right? So that was a twist, and that came from John McCarthy. So we'll call that the John McCarthy rule from now on.
Question here.
Randall Folks, Miami Records Radio. Is this format something that you're going to keep in the future? Like you talked about a light heavyweight tournament. Is this something you're going to keep doing?
Yeah, I mean, I love the tournament format, and it's a very good piece of business for the company. You know, I'm looking forward to the fight between Rory and Douglas Lima in October. I'm looking forward to this featherweight tournament. There's a lot of heat on these guys. I mean, they're ready to fight for free. So I think that the tournament format will continue in Bellator. And it'll probably be one weight class, male or female, per year. We're not going to run multiple tournaments, you know, throughout the year, and I just think that makes it very confusing. Let's just focus on one division, make it a great tournament, and this is a very special moment because we had 16 great athletes that we had to pick from, and we were able to start with the 16-man tournament. Now you guys see the brackets, and they're going to get down starting in December.
Scott, over to your left. I'm just curious, what did you think of Gegard's win? How do you think he looked in the main event?
Yeah, listen, you know what? I think he looked good. I think that, you know, Gegard is somebody that, you know, he was fighting a counter fighter. So they're both being very careful. And I think they both realized that they made a mistake, then it could cost them. So it was a very tactical fight. It was a very careful fight. But I thought they engaged well when they did, and, you know, I thought Gegard won the fight.
And in the other main event, Pibtull Archuleta, it seemed to start a little slow, but things picked up later in the fight. Is that kind of what you're expecting? Were there any surprises for you?
Yeah, I mean, it's, you know, there's not too many people that have gone 5 rounds with Pibtull. And Archuleta was there, he was engaging. I thought he did, you know, a good job, and he did the best he could. I know he had some situation with the coach, which I found out about later, but, you know, that's the rules, and that's just how it goes. So, you know, I feel bad for him, but I told him before I came in here that, you know, he should get some rest, just kind of unwind, get back to camp, because we're going to be very busy in the fall. So we'll find him another spot to fight.
Josh? Scott, the selection portion of the tournament, is that something that you're going to now make a regular part of the yearly tournaments?
Yeah, I liked it. I thought it was great. Now, it's something that I'll go back and look at the footage and talk to the guys, but honestly, I think it was a fun way to present the tournament and pick the tournament. And it's like a random draw, but there's a little twist at the end. So I liked it, and we'll see what happens.
And how do you think the fighters did? How do you like the brackets?
I mean, for me personally, I think that, you know, there's some fighters that I thought were interesting, but, you know, I was hoping for a different fight at the very end. But, you know, I think he picked who he wanted to fight, and he's the champ. He gets to do what he wants to do. But I tell you, there's some fights I really look forward to in that tournament. So I think we're going to have a great tournament on our hands.
Hi, Scott. So there are definitely some good guys that are kind of left on the outside now, like Archuleta and whatnot. But are you giving any consideration to maybe sort of a mini tournament for alternates, perhaps?
There's not a tournament bracket that's following like a loser's bracket, you know, like in wrestling. There's not going to be like a bracket like that. But we will keep these guys busy. There are a couple other fights that are being considered for reserve matches. And then, you know, we will probably fight them off and just have these guys ready to go if they keep winning. So I would say it's an unofficial, you know, losers bracket in a way that the person at the end, if there's an injury, will step in.
And is there also were there any surprises, I want to say, for the matchups that are making up the bracket? Did you have any particular ones in mind that didn't come to fruition that you thought would happen?
Yeah, my only thought was I thought that when Pibtull had the shot, I thought he was going to fight DC. That's a fight. I thought he wanted him really bad. So, you know, it went the other way. So now we have some interesting fights on both sides. And if you keep winning, you'll fight each other anyway at the end. So, you know, it's going to be fun.
Scott Coker back here. Last month you had your crossover star Heather Hardy fight a big fight against Amanda Serrano in boxing for a big championship. Amanda's tweeting out she would love to make that fight happen in MMA, and she wondered, you know, is Bellator open to cross-promoting with Combate and making a deal? What are your thoughts on that?
Yeah, I didn't watch the fight. I'm not, you know, I guess I should go back and look at it. And you know, we're open to any suggestions, you know. And what I mean by that is, like, look, we're working with Ryzen right now, and Mike Afromowitz and I have a good relationship. And so I told him the other day, look, the door is always open. Timing's going to be an issue because we're so busy. We have to keep our fighters busy. I know there was a fighter here tonight, Tom Loeffler's fighter, Cecilia. You know, she also would like to fight Cyborg at some point. So maybe Tom and I work together. So the door is going to be open, and if it makes business, then it makes sense, and that's how I look at it.
Also, you recently signed Eric Oyita Perez. I was wondering if you could speak on what kind of impact you expect him to have in the bantamweight division as a new addition.
Well, my guys have they have some high hopes for him, and I know that he's been, you know, kind of in a couple leagues. So let's see if we can find him a home here and let him develop and you know, fight the top guys. But you you know, I'm not sure when he's going to fight first. That's something you could probably talk to Ryan and find out from Rich when he's going to fight.
Scott over here. Gegard, great performance in the main event. He suggested during fight week that he was looking at potentially dropping to welterweight if Douglas Lima beats Rory McDonald. Is that something you would be interested in?
You know, he said that. I just don't know how he does it. You know, I mean, to drop another 15 pounds, I think that's quite ambitious, right? I think he's exactly where he should be, but he might be thinking about that $1 million prize money in case somebody got hurt, because he brought this up to me 6 months ago, saying, if somebody gets hurt in that welterweight tournament, you know, I'm in, sign me up. I'm like, we have other plans for you, Gegard. Don't worry, you're going to be fine. So, you know, I don't think that that's going to happen, but you know, if he really wants to do it, we'll sit down and we'll talk about it.
We had Antonio McKee win on the undercard. Obviously, great night for the McKees. He wants to fight again. Are you interested in that? And would you like to see him fight soon? Or what are your thoughts on him going forward?
Did he say he wants to fight again?
He does, yes.
Okay. Well, let me. I have no comment on that one, but we'll get back to you.
And then last one for me, Ava Knight, great debut, getting the win. It seems like she's going to be fighting in boxing next. But what is the plan with her going forward?
Listen, I think she comes from a great program. She's obviously had some great boxing fights, and you know, she's gonna go back to boxing, and she's always welcome. The way I look at it is the door's open. If she wants to come back and fight mixed martial arts, you know, we'll be here. I think we have a multi-fight deal with her, so when she comes back, she'll be fighting in Bellator.
Scott, you mentioned Cecilia Brickhouse and Tom Loeffler. Does she want to do MMA or does she want to box?
She wants to box.
So where's the discussion? Cyborg said that there was only MMA talk ahead of this fight, but where's the boxing piece of element?
You know, when we did the deal with Cyborg, not to get into her contract, but you know, it was important for her to have a carve out that she could box, and Bellator will be a part of that promotion. So, you know, if she wants to pick it up at a future date, you know, then we'll make it happen.
Scott, sure. I just want to clarify one thing on the selection show. So Pibtull was always going to be last. They only picked 7 numbers, the 7 guys on stage, right? That's how it worked out.
Yes.
Okay. And then I asked you the other day about locations and dates for those Grand Prix quarterfinals. Anything to announce about that?
You know what? We still have to sign a few contracts, but you know, in December we're obviously looking to go to Hawaii, and then in January we'll be here. February, you know, we're talking to the Mohegan Sun, trying to get a date up there. So it's kind of in flux right now. So as we lock it down, we'll let you know.
So the January Grand Prix fight will be on the same card as Cyborg and Bud?
That's correct.
Okay. And Lyoto Machida, the main event, where do you see his future now? I mean, I think he was saying this week that he preferred light heavyweight. I think he going to middleweight is not his favorite thing at this point. Where do you see him going from here?
You know, that's something that I'd like to go back and sit down with my team and figure that out. I mean, him fighting, you know, in the 205 weight class, I think there's some good fighters for him to fight. You know, Phil Davis was here tonight. He said he'd love to fight him. You know, at some point, if he wants to fight, you know, gets a couple wins, and maybe he fights Ryan Bader at 205. You know, so there's a couple matchups that I really like for him, and you know, we'll get him back and we'll get him busy soon.
We'll do 2 more, Randall, and then
Patricio Pibtull is your lightweight champion also. He advanced in the tournament tonight. Do you plan on making an interim lightweight title?
You know, we were going to wait till this fight was over, and he did take a lot of damage, and I think he was really smart to take that March slot, so he has more time to rest. So the thought was, if he had, you know, a quick finish, and he took the March slot, maybe he could fight in between and defend his lightweight belt. So now we're back at the drawing board because, you know, he took some damage. So I don't know how much damage he took or when he could fight again, but we're gonna have to, you know, wait for the medical reports and see. But I'd like him to, you know, defend both. And I always said that, look, fighters can defend both, you know, as long as they don't get hurt. So we'll see what happens.
Scott, I think most would agree Pibtull versus McKee would be a big fight that would do big business for Bellator. Are you glad that they ended up on opposite sides of the bracket? So if they continue to win, it could shape up to be sort of like a mega finale, or would you have preferred to capitalize on that fight sooner on in the tournament?
I mean, look, there's no you know, guarantee in these tournaments because you never know what's going to happen. But listen, if McKee, who's undefeated, fights Pibtull at the very end, I think that'd be a very entertaining fight. I think that's a fight that could build a lot of heat on and make a lot of sense. But in these things, you never know. Thank you.
Thanks, Scott.
Thanks, Scott.
All right, we're going to start with Pibtull and Carvalho. If I could have Eric and Patricio come up here. Pedro, I'll be on the other side of the podium, please.
Cadê os belos cinturões?
Pibtull. Monte from Mind Menus. I have a question. So, how is it balancing both title belts while also competing inside the tournament?
I know it's my better form. I have 32 years old now, but I'm a little old. So after a war like that, I need some rest. But I'm feeling good.
For Pedro, do you feel now more excited by this matchup and maybe more motivated that the champion picked you instead of the guy that was calling him out to go out and make a statement?
I mean, I feel like a kid in Christmas, you know. I know a date when I'm gonna become world champion, so I'm pretty happy. But you know, because of the name itself, like I've said before, I see no names, I see no faces. When I'm inside of the cage, I'm just the hunter, and the other side of the cage is the prey. Mark my words, in March I will shock the world.
Pedro over here, to your left. Did you expect Pibtull to pick you for the quarterfinal match?
I don't know, like, I was the last one to pick, you know, so, and I saw his interview that he wants some time. So I was kind of strategically, like, put myself on March, and I like, who knows if he picked me. I don't know why he picked me. Maybe he underestimated me. And that was pretty much the story of my life. Since the very beginning of my career, everyone looked down on me. Everyone said that I wouldn't never do it. And just look where I am right now. 34 years of age. I will become world champion, mark my words.
And Patricio, your fight with Juan Archuleta tonight went the distance. Were you surprised by that? Were you surprised that he took all your shots?
No, I know his stuff. I knew it was
He knew it was going to be a war.
Patricio, for March, you had Pedro and Darrion Caldwell available. What decision making went into picking Pedro over Darrion?
Caldwell, he's come from true losses. I don't like to fight a guy like that.
Then Pedro, what does it mean to you to be facing Patricio in the next round for the featherweight title?
I mean, it means great. It means that I'm fighting for a belt. That's the main thing. And second, like, he's by far the legend in this company when it concerns of featherweight, you know? No one tops him in the featherweight division in this company. So I'm facing the very best featherweight and one of the best in the world, you know what I mean? So I always said that my main goal is prove that I'm the best in the world. So right now I have the best opportunity in my life to prove to the whole world what I've been said is true, that I'm the best.
Pedro, question for you. You look very confident. What makes you so confident? And the second question is, what do you have new for Pibtull, you know, that other opponent didn't bring to the cage?
So my confidence comes mainly from a work ethic. I work with the best guys in the world. SVG is the best team in the world. So I don't need to speak a lot about that, you know, that's it. And second of all, like, this is my time, you know, I'm on a new level, you know. These guys, like, they don't know who I am. maybe they know, but they make like they don't. But I'm on a new level, and fight after fight, that's exactly what I prove, and that's what I'm looking for. You know, I will never look down on anyone. This is the fight game. Anything happen. I'm fighting the best featherweight and one of the best featherweights of all time. But he never faced a guy like me. I don't know if he knows that, but he never faced no one like me. And on March, I will show him. Be careful.
Look at Emmanuel chest right there. There are too many guys tough like you. Everyone.
We'll see about that.
You are good. I know that.
You know what I mean? I'm used to this. I'm used to be underestimated.
No.
Trust me. Trust me.
I choose you because you are tough.
I hope so. I hope so. I'm come for war. I'm expecting war, and that's exactly what I'm looking for.
Okay. We'll do two more. Josh.
Pibtull, he's obviously very confident. What do you hear when he's speaking confidently? Do you hear a real challenger, or do you hear someone who's trying to convince you that he's going to be a tough fight?
No, it looks like it's real. He's confident. I like that. We are warriors. It's no more.
What did both of you feel about the format? How did you think it played out compared to your expectations?
I think, like, in my personal opinion, this is the best thing that anyone in MMA could do, you know. In my opinion, this is it, you know, because the hype boys and the real man get separated in this kind of format, you know, because in a regular format, you know, the hype boys go around, they fight with handpicked guys, and they keep bragging themselves as they are the best. In this thing, only the best comes on top. Only the real man comes on top. So, in my opinion, this is great, you know, because in this we can see who's the man and the boys.
Pibtull, do you want to answer, and then we'll square you guys off.
What was your question again?
I was wondering about really the selection part of the format. What did you feel about that?
That fight is gonna be the first step to put Pibtull brothers against SBG. I want you to do that war. So
that's the idea.
That's beginning.
All right, we'll square you guys off. Out. Face out.
And the new featherweight world champion, March next year. Mark my words.
Pony try.
That ain't happening.
All right. Thank you, guys.
We'll talk later. We'll talk later. We'll talk later.
All right. Next up, we'll have Sanchez and Weichel come to the stage, please.
No, I thought I left my phone.
All right. Hi, Nick. Go ahead.
Emmanuel over here. You were the one to select Daniel Weichel to fight him the second time. Why did you make that decision?
I want to welcome him back to the featherweight division. Obviously, congratulations. He did that tonight against a tough grit with a lot of grit in Saul Rogers. But he knows he didn't beat me. That's one thing for certain. And that's something that I've been thinking about, wanting back for a long time. And now I have the opportunity to on a much bigger platform with a lot more on the line. And now this fight will be 5 rounds, not 3. So something I'm very excited for.
Daniel, Emmanuel says you didn't beat him the first time back in 2016. Do you have a response to that?
You know, I know for myself that I beat him, but you know, it was a close fight, I know that, but I'm looking forward to this fight, who's in front of us, with a lot more eyes on it, and a legacy to ride.
Well, I was going to ask you, as a guy that won the first fight a few years ago, are you looking forward to this fight, or would you have preferred, you know, maybe a title fight against Patricio Pibtull?
No, of course, Sanchez is one of the best featherweights, and yeah, that's what I'm looking for, beating the best out there, and he's one of them.
Question right here.
For Daniel, beyond the fact that this is, you know, this was to get into the tournament tonight, are you relieved to end that 2-fight losing streak? Is that, you know, more of a weight off your shoulders than anything else?
I tried to have it not in my mind, but I think it's impossible when you're coming from 2 losses, even when these losses were against 2 very tough opponents. You know, I have it on my shoulders, and but I try to put my focus on Saul as a fighter, and yeah, I took it just as serious as I take any fight.
And as far for both of you gentlemen, seeing how the brackets played out, is there any particular fights that obviously that you won't be involved in that you're looking at as a fan, you're kind of anticipating?
Go ahead, Daniel.
You know, in this tournament, to me, all fights are very spectacular and interesting to me, you know, and yeah, of course, beating the best featherweights, that's what it's all about.
Daniel, did the fight play out as you expected tonight? Was anything different, or what did you think?
It took me quite a while to find into my rhythm, to get the distance, and that I could pick my shots better in the later rounds. So yeah, it felt a little bit rough to get into the fight, but yeah, it kept going while the fight was continuing.
When the fight was over, were you confident that you were going to get the decision?
Yes.
Hello, Daniel. My name is Monty Wally from My MMA News. About your fight tonight, how are you planning on making some modifications to improve going into the next round?
You know, I always try to learn something out of every fight. You know, and this is what I will do, even when I'm no matter if I win or if I lose. You know, I will sit back with my team. We're gonna analyze everything, and then we're gonna make a plan for the next one.
Emmanuel right here. Now you picked Daniel right away. Was that your first choice for the second round?
Yes, it was. I'm very happy with my choice. Not the date that I wanted, but you know what? More time to prepare. Like Pedro said, enjoy the holidays. I hope you enjoy the holidays too, and kick off 2020 with a bang, man. It's gonna be amazing.
Now, Daniel, knowing that Emmanuel was so willing to fight you, what does that mean to you?
It's good. It's good. I also looked forward to that fight. You know, he was. He said after that fight that he thought that he won, and you know.
He knows that he won. He didn't think he won. He knows that he won.
We will see in February.
And you know that I want to. And we will see in February again.
This is a question for both of you guys. With Pibtull coming in tonight as the champ, obviously the man to beat, what did you guys think of his performance and still being the man to beat in this tournament?
Let me go first this time. I think he looked great. Juan looked great too. It was an amazing fight. Did what he needed to do. Honestly, I think he took some pages out of my book. I don't know if you saw it, but he looked a little like a matador out there. Juan was swinging and kind of fell and slipped on some kicks, and Patricio was able to just move out of there like it was nothing. So even though he's got a little something above his eye, you know, he fought very smart. But like he said, with the wars and the time, and the way this format is out, I think it's most of the training camps. You know, it's whether you get a quick knockout like McKee did, or a decision like he did, or a fight like Patricio did. It's most of getting ready for beasts like this for 5 rounds. You know, that's what we all know. You know, we say it's easy, but it's not easy. The training is what kicks our asses, and you train hard, you know, then the fight is easy. But I think it was an amazing fight, and I'm surprised to be on the same side as the champion. I wasn't expecting that, to be on the same side of the bracket as the champion, but this will make it that much sweeter. I'll go out and be victorious in February, and then we'll see the winner of Pibtull and Carvalho.
Pibtull's definitely a true champion, and you could see that tonight. Also, you know, he improves also from every fight to another. You can see he makes changes, and it's getting better. And you know, I had a very close fight with him, and I'm looking forward to meet him in a tournament again.
Last question, Josh.
The opportunity to make your selections took a little bit of control away from the promoter and put it in the fighter's hands. What was that like for you to have that control? And do you think the process played out as well as it could have?
Yeah, I think it was pretty good. It was nice, you know, because this beats that whole who's most deserving, who had the last most impressive fight, who's undefeated. You know, we got 2 undefeated guys on this. Who's a former champ? You know, we're in obviously the last 8 right here of guys that have fought for the title, will fight for the title, etc. So, yeah, this was something really exciting that we get to put our destiny and our future in our own hands, and I can't complain. Played out pretty well.
The great thing is that you know exactly when you fight next, who you fight next, and you don't have to wait. You don't have to, simply don't have to wait. You can start right away with the next preparation and be ready for the next one.
Awesome. We'll get you guys to square off. Face the cameras. Thank you both very much. See you in February. All right, next up we'll have Caldwell and Borics. First question, Randall.
We saw an interaction between you and Pibtull after the featherweight title fight. Can you tell us what would happen between you two?
I just think it's 2 warriors with the fighting spirit that wants to fight each other. Obviously, I want to fight him a little sooner than he wants to fight me, but I think it's 2 guys with that killer instinct that just want to fight.
Now, Adam, everybody outside of AJ McKee passed up on fighting you. What does that mean to you?
You know, everybody's scared about AG, and my original plan was like, I want to fight in January because my legs it's a bit hurts because from my last fight, and I want to do a real 12 weeks training camp, and it's January, so I don't care. I know I will face off next time after this round AG McKee, so I am very happy I can fight in January.
Darrion, after the after the exchange that you had with Pibtull, the fact that he chose March but he didn't choose you, do you view that as he's dodging you, or was that a troll move on his part?
I don't think he's dodging me. I think he's dodging. Yeah, I think he's dodging me. Let's be honest. I don't think he wants to fight me. I think it was strategic on his part. I think 3 fighters that he don't want to fight are myself, Adam, and AJ. So I think his coaches did a good job strategizing, putting us all on the same side. I just happened to get Adam, and I got to take him out first round.
You know, Darrion, tonight the crowd did not react very well to you. They were booing you, but you seemed to really thrive when that happened. Can you just kind of talk about, you know, what you were thinking when that was happening? Because, again, it looked like you thrived. Are you the new heel of this tournament?
I've been the heel. I am the guy that people don't want to fight, and even though Adam might seem like he wants to fight me up here. He doesn't want this work. He don't want these problems. So at the end of the day, January is going to come around and we're going to scrap. And just like I did tonight, and shout out to Henry Corrales, you know, but avenging a loss for Pico is something I'm going to do again.
I didn't think so. My knee is coming again.
We shall see.
Darrion, right here. What do you feel about your performance tonight?
I'm happy with the growth that I made in 2 months after leaving my last gym. Coach Baney has done a great job with me early on in my career, and I expect everything to continue to go like we've been doing.
And what do you think as far as the matchup with Adam, where your advantages are in the matchup?
Against
Adam?
Well, it's simple. Put him on his back and beat him up.
And he doesn't want this fight. He passed me first time, so he chose first time in March, yeah. So he doesn't want this fight.
Well, my reason for picking March is because I've just been with my team for 2 months, and again, I want to continue to grow, right? The longer the more time I have with my coach, the more I'm going to grow, you know. But I only need 2 days to whoop that ass.
We will see everything good.
We shall see.
Josh, does it feel now you're past the opening round and you know brackets and you know who you're fighting? Does this take on an added layer of intensity now? Is this different?
Absolutely. But it's simple, you know. Like Jimmy V back in the day. You guys seen NC State back in the 1980s. Underdog, win a national championship where no one expected him to win. I'm expecting the same exact outcome. Coming up from 135, I will be a champion here at 145, and he's just next in line.
Does it feel any different than the opening round tournament for you now, seeing? No?
For me, it's always my upcoming fight is the most important fight. I will be ready for January, and you will see. I shook the world again. I beat already the former champion. He was a former champion. I respect him, but I will beat him too.
I don't give a damn who you beat, bro. You find a real dog out here. It's a different beast when you step in that cage. Yeah.
Okay.
So
you didn't feel my power, bro.
Okay.
You're a 135 guy.
Okay, so we shall see power versus speed and precision. We shall see.
For Darrion, so when we've spoken before, you've been very adamant about going back to bantamweight. But tonight you were in against a career featherweight, looked to be the bigger man, looked pretty healthy, and you did say how the relaxed diet was aiding your happiness in camp. Now that you've had that experience at featherweight and have a good chance in this tournament, are you now just thinking of staying at 145?
I'm still the Bellator bantamweight champion. That's not going to change. I will be back. Ain't shit going to change about that. I'm going to win this belt and then get 2.
A few more questions.
For Adam, what have these past few months been like for you? You've had finishes of Aaron Pico and Patrick, a former champion. How would you describe the past 6 months or so?
You know, I feel this is the right time for me. You know, I train in a hard on 365 every day like a crazy. I want to be just a best fighter in the world, and I am doing just my job. So I just train and fight, and that's it. That's why I leave my family and everything in Hungary. That's why I'm moving to Florida, be a best in the world. So I just do my job.
Now, with the way the tournament bracket played out, you were the last fighter without an opponent, and Pibtull was the last guy to choose. Did you think you had the title fight locked down, and what was going through your head when
So it was my original plan fight in January, and if Pibtull pick me, it's my dream. So I was hoping he will pick me, but it's okay. Doesn't matter who is the next. I will be ready and I will beat him, and I became a world champion soon.
Last question, Casey.
Adam, in the back right here, sir.
Also,
what did you think of Mr. Caldwell's performance tonight when you were watching a cage fight?
man, he's a great fighter, but I was watching his fight and it's a bit boring, but it's okay. You know, he's a great fighter. I think I really respect him. He's a tough guy, and I want to fight against a tough guy.
Do you just find his
his wrestling base boring, or what is it about it that's boring?
No, I mean, he in the last round he was running a lot, and you know, did you see the referee was like, hey, don't do that, and I don't like it. I like to see the fights, but he's a great fighter. I'm happy I can fight with him.
And at the end of the day, I feel the same way here. It is a competition, so that fighter spirit is in me, but let's not be stupid. This guy's 15-0, 14-0 for a reason. And so I will come prepared, I will be trained, and we're gonna scrap in January.
All right, let's have you guys square off, please, behind the podium. Probably face the cameras. All right, okay, thank you, boys. Well, Gegard, come up. Thanks, guys.
Gegard, you talked about before this fight that you would like a middleweight title shot next. Is that still what you would like?
100%. I feel like I can beat Lovato. I think it's just me coming in with my head straight. He has no chance of beating me. Sometimes I sleep, and sometimes I come to fight. So next time will be different. You will see a God in there. I promise you, because I know things that other people don't know.
Gegard, right here. So, when you heard the judges announce Machida had a scorecard, were there any bad nerves on your part?
Yeah, a little bit. But I beat Machida in his own game. That's his style, but I beat him anyway. Listen, at the highest stage against, I know it was a boring fight, I'm not proud of it. But at the highest stage, that little bit makes difference, and I couldn't, I needed the victory. And yeah, I felt like I won all 3 rounds.
And what felt different about Machida this time as opposed to the first time?
Well, first time when I looked in his eyes, he was a little bit like a dragon. This time, even at the stare downs, I felt he wasn't the same guy. So maybe age or something else, but he wasn't himself. When I looked in his eyes, it was different than the first time I fought. And this time I was a better fighter, a better game plan. I knew what to expect. Yeah.
Gegard over here. So I know that you wanted to get the title shot against Lovato Jr., but you also expressed this week potentially going down to welterweight.
No, welterweight, I
or was that a joke?
You know, I thought about it.
Are you trolling us, Gegard? Tell us.
No, welterweight, I could, but I'm going to kill myself. Well, it's not worth it, so forget about welterweight. I thought about it, it's nice, but first Lovato, and then the dream continues. Yeah, like heavyweight maybe.
How did you feel in there tonight? Because you mentioned in the Lovato fight you weren't yourself. Did you feel like your normal self tonight?
I was sharp. I knew what to do. I was grounded. I didn't walk. Yeah, I could, you know, yeah. I won all 3 rounds, I felt. So.
You said in the first fight when you guys fought that he was greasing. Did you feel anything a little slippery tonight, or no? How was it?
No, it wasn't slippery this time.
Okay, that's good. And
I like Machida. I apologized to him after the fight. I'm a bad loser sometimes. I admit to that, 100%. But when I said those things, I believed it. Every time I accused someone of something, I didn't make it up.
I know this is a quick, sort of a fresh win here, but has Bellator given you any indication when that middleweight title fight could be if you do end up getting it?
Well, they offered me, they said, who you want to fight? I said, Lovato, and they said, he's injured. So that was the first thing that I wanted to do, but I knew I had to fight Machida anyway. So now I fought him. Now the rematch. He hasn't fought for 3 or 4 months, so I can go and fight him over 3 months later.
Monte from Miami News. Actually, 2 questions. The first question is, how do you feel that this victory in some way gives you momentum going to a possible fight with Lovato Jr.? And also, do you feel in a way, especially with the last fight with Lovato being very controversial, so to speak, that this is in some way redemption for you?
Next fight, I'm gonna kill him. I swear to God, if I don't knock him out, I don't count it as victory. Because I know what I can do, and he will die, literally. You will see. I will knock him out, 100%. I guarantee you that if I lose, I retire, I promise you. No, I'm not kidding, because I'm not trying to sell a fight. I know what I can do. And next fight will be extra special, because I'm going to be extra special boy.
How are you going to be extra special?
That's payment. People are going to get what they do, you know?
Will you have a request over the venue for that fight? You made a big deal about fighting in California compared to other places for this fight.
No, well, I would love to fight in Holland, get my title back there. Maybe people say don't talk about retirement. Maybe I retire, maybe not. But that could be my last fight.
Gegard, back here.
Yeah.
You beat Machida, and that's obviously what you came to do. Are you satisfied with the win tonight?
No, not at all. But I had a good game plan. My friend Jawad, he can't help me a lot. The game plan, he couldn't come into his game because I was pressuring him, I was timing it, I was making more points. So I knew he had to come. He didn't come to get the victory in the 2nd or 3rd round. But at the highest level, sometimes you win boring. His style is not a style that you can go and say, I'm going to destroy him. Because he's not a guy like that. He runs, he makes his points. So I had to fight him like that. I don't want to, depends on the opponent. I felt like I beat him in his own game, and it was a good win to have like a legend like Machida. I've beaten a lot of big names, so to have a win over him means a lot.
You spent the last 15 to 20 seconds of the fight in what appeared to be a tight guillotine. Was it tight, and what were you thinking in that moment?
Well, it was tight, but I wouldn't tap to that. I was like, okay. I heard the tack, 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 and I was like, okay, count the seconds. I know I had won I won the fight, yeah.
Mr. Mousasi?
Yeah.
For Lovato, your rematch, do you want any special testing done for him? Because I don't know if you were just a sore loser at the point, but you kind of...
that guy looked like a horse. You guys are reporters, but you don't even report on that. You can see a difference between like a picture of him, and then you look like a muscular when he's 35. It's you guys can watch. You should guys report that. You take a picture, put it next to each other. It's day and night difference. There's not even a little bit steroid. There's like monkey steroids. I don't know. You guys go check it out. I can post pictures for you guys if you want, but. I'm not the reporter. You should go do some research. Everyone knows he was on steroids. But people call me bad loser. But maybe I am a little bit. But I should have beat him anyway. Like I said, my head wasn't in it. I heard him in the 3rd round. I heard him in the 4th round. I fucked up myself. So I'm blaming myself. But the juice helped him also.
But do you want any sort of special extra testing for him for your?
Well, I don't know. I don't know where the fight's gonna be, and I have to discuss it with my manager.
You said obviously he looks like a horse. Did he feel like a horse?
Well, he looked twice as big at the weigh-in. His nipples were hard, like a woman. Yeah, you go watch touch it. I'm not kidding you. I'm not trying to be funny or something, but his nipples were twice, you could have given milk to babies. Anyway, I'm in a good mood. Maybe I shouldn't talk that much.
Ja gaat viraal.
Were you surprised that one of the judges' scorecards were for Machida? Do you feel like you won the unanimous decision, or it's a split decision? What do you think?
I felt like it was a unanimous decision. I heard him a good punches in the first round. Second round was mine. Third was also mine. Yeah, I was surprised, but I had even after the first judge, I felt like I won the fight anyway. That I would get the other two judges.
And since we're in a good mood, what do you usually do after the fight night? Do you celebrate?
Booze and pizzas and a lot of the friends.
Last one? Question back there? No?
Gegard, you're obviously a better striker than Machida. Are you surprised that he didn't try to take advantage and take you to the ground at any point in the fight?
No, because the distance was good. He couldn't shoot. No. I controlled the distance. I felt like one of those kicks I will catch and he will fall down, and that's exactly what happened. And no, I wasn't worried. No.
You seem like a guy who knows how to celebrate a really good fight. Do you have any
crack cocaine? Don't do it, kids.
You wanna send a message to the people in Armenia that was watching the fight?
Oh yeah. Especially my, I always enjoy. I'm thankful for the people coming, spending their hard-earning dollars and their time. Especially now with my countrymen coming to watch the fight. I know it was a boring fight, but I know they're happy. So at least that's giving me some satisfaction.
Thank you, Gegard.
Thank you, guys. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Gegard.
Thank you.
We'll have Campos and McKee up in just a few moments. McKee is cornering this fight that's about to end. That was, you guys have...
Yeah. We got a tough action ball.
Yeah.
Yeah, we're starting good. AJ, can't get much better than an 8-second knockout. How happy are you with that win, and was it what you were expecting?
Honestly, before the fight, I said I wanted to go get Bellator's fastest knockout. I think everyone was just so awed at the moment and how quick it was that, honestly, I was kind of surprised. But I knew I was capable of it, so why not?
What happened there at the end of the fight? There seemed to be something happening in the crowd. You were...
Yeah, I looked over and I just saw my family all turning around right there, so my first thing, fuck the fight. That's family, Same thing like right now. I'm a little late, but teammates out there fighting. Gotta go support, man. It's all about the support.
What was it like to see your dad win early in the night, and then did that patch your motivation going into your fight later on in the night?
Definitely, man. It was phenomenal. Him going in there doing what he did, it set the tone right for me. I knew I had a job to do. I constantly said it. Go in there, you win, set the night off, and finish with a bang.
Derek, what did you make of his win tonight?
It was impressive, unfortunately for Georgie, he just got caught. It happened to anybody on any given night, but it was definitely impressive. So, congratulations.
Why did you choose to fight AJ?
Well, the young man was across the stage. He was, begging for a scrap. So me and AJ have talked before. We were on the same card last December in Hawaii, and he's just a cool guy, and I know he's gonna bring it. So we're gonna put on a show.
It was funny. We were both in Hawaii, and he's just super respectful. He's like, honestly, he was just like, man, I think you're one of the best. He's like, I'd love to fight with you one day. I said it'd be an honor, and I was like, hey, let's do it one day. Here we are a year later. He got what he wanted.
Yeah. Worked out.
Definitely.
Hey, First off, I just want to say congratulations to you and your father for becoming the first people to fight on the same card, but not only just fight, but you guys both took home victories tonight. Patricio Pibtull had the opportunity to choose you in the second round. He chose not to. How do you feel about that?
I think it was a smart move on his side. He had a war tonight. He had a good fight. One touched him up a little. He fought smart, you know. He went out there and fought smart, literally. He didn't take a lot of damage, but he took a little bit of damage. But he's all right.
And then my next question is for the both of you guys. How do you guys feel about this second round matchup?
Pretty good.
Yeah, I'm loving it.
I'm on the side.
He got what he wanted, and I'm just ready to fight, man. We're all on a ride here.
Yeah, I mean it's gonna be. I mean, stylistically, this is gonna be a scrap. I mean, he's explosive, he's dynamic, and me, I'm gritty as shit. You know, I'm come with it. So I mean, it's definitely. I promise you, ain't gonna be no 8 seconds.
Nah.
But it's gonna be a war, and I'm gonna take him to deep water and test him, and you know, that's it. I mean, I'm not gonna run my mouth. I'm gonna let my hands and my body do the talking.
AJ, did you know that January would be here in LA?
No, I did not.
If you did, would that have changed your decision?
Probably, yeah. No. Dealt with a lot of family stress, tickets and whatnot. It was fun to do it here, home in LA, but I like fighting on the road as well, you know. That's kind of like what I do. I love having my family here and all, but it's business, man. It's $1 million. The support is real here, but man, some of these guys, it's not gonna go in there. You're not gonna just create, like you said, an opportunity of chance like that. Derek Campos. It's not something I want to play with. Each round is getting deeper and deeper. This is business. You know what I mean? 7 zeros I'm after. 6 on my record. 6 on my check. 1 on my record.
You had a chance to choose anything, any opponent today. The power to sort of make that choice. What did you grapple with anything? Was there any thought about sort of how it's going to play out?
Well, honestly, I wanted to get back to work. I wanted to, get in there, set the bar again, and December was there, and AJ was the kind of opponent that I like. A test.
Sounds like a hungry man to me.
Yeah, I'm hungry. That's all it is. It's straight like that, So I didn't want to hesitate or delay anything. I don't want to fight in January or February or March. I'm ready to go to work and, be disciplined through the holidays and get ready to fight a war. And that's it, man. Rocky IV, baby, all the way.
AJ back here. Special night for you tonight, obviously, and before you fought, you got to corner your dad. So, what do you think of your pop's performance tonight?
It was awesome. If you guys could probably see the footage of me cornering him, there's gonna be a lot of bleeping in there, but it was surreal, man. It was a fun night, Great way to start off the tournament, I feel. He set the tone for me, shows me you got a job to do, and I'm looking forward to doing it.
What's that like when your dad? He's the voice you always hear when you're fighting, and he's cornering you and yelling instructions to you. Did you see him following his own advice in his fight tonight?
Yeah, it's different being in there. Your coaches can tell you what to do sometimes. Sometimes you'll get rocked and you go on autopilot. You don't even know what's going on in there. You come back, it's fighting, man. It's a war, That's part of the fight game. You gotta go in there and give it all you got. Sometimes you're gonna hear things, sometimes you don't. You hear the weirdest shit in there. You'll hear fans knee in his ass. Like, you'll hear the weirdest things, I swear. Fuck him up, like, of course, duh. Like, it's a fight, but like, it's crazy, man. Honestly, it's surreal being in there. It's adrenaline junkies, but at the same time, for some people, it's just a passion of fighting. It's a passion of war. It's a passion of art. For me, it's an art. This is all I grew up in. I love fighting.
2 more. 1, 2.
AJ, congratulations on the fight. Is there anything that your dad said right before the bell went off and that 8 seconds passed? And can you describe the moment and how you felt and what landed? How did you land that and how did you set that up?
Well, I read Georgie. He came out southpaw, and then he immediately switched. So I knew he was nervous. When he switched back, I just went, get him. I saw the opportunity and I took it.
Did your dad say any final words right before the bell went off?
Yeah. I forgot what he said. He said, just pick your shots. Something. He said something along, it was good instruction, That's what I'm saying. You hear some things you don't. It's a zone in there, man. we're literally in there trying to hurt each other, dude. It's crazy being in there, but we love it, you know? It's part of the fight game. It's what we do. It's what we grew up in. Everything's a fight for us, whether it's breathing, whether it's eating, whatever it is, you know, it's a fight. You gotta do something, everything.
Last one, AJ. You have I'm so sorry, it's happening again.
For AJ and Derek, quick one from me. There's been obviously a lot of animosity kind of in the air with this featherweight tournament and everybody. Like for instance, the LA Media Day where there was a near scuffle and obviously what happened in the crowd today. But are you two relieved to just kind of have a just pure competition without the animosity with one another?
Well, yeah, it's respect, you know. He's a warrior, I'm a warrior. We just love to do what we do.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, outside the cage, you know, we keep it professional. I mean, he's a cool guy, like I already said. And but when we get in there, you know, it's all business. We're gonna go in there to try and take each other's heads off, and that's it. I mean, and then afterwards, shit, I'll bomb a beer, you know.
That's how it is.
All right, thanks, guys. We'll have you square off, please. Out to the camera. Alright. Great. Thank you, boys.
Yeah.
Thank you all. That'll be it for tonight. Appreciate all you guys coming.